Hey guys, Badu1979 here. Just want to make another video on my newest camera. This is gonna be, I guess, the version 2 or just a different, testing for my newest camera, the not Sony, the Canon HF R500, HF R500. So. This is the one I got to replace the Sony. The Sony had a super good macro. The only thing is the colors. They didn't look exactly the same as the, from what I saw. Right now I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at my flashlight, and the color production is a little bit better in my opinion. So everything is going to be on automatic. The quality is going to be AV CHD. FXP on the Canon, so I think it's 17 megabytes per second. It's 60 frames per second too. So I'm just gonna show you guys. I'm gonna start a little bit like I started with my Sony. I'm gonna start off with the True Night here. Just look at the texturing. So let's try to zoom in there a little bit just to see if I get closer. This is pretty much as close as you're gonna get, I think. So not as good macro, I think, as the Sony. That's the only problem, and one thing I'm pretty sad about, and the focusing is not as fast as well. So focusing's a little bit slow, zoom's a little bit slow, and the macro is not as good as the Sony, I think. Well, you guys tell me, but I don't think it's as good as the Sony, because the Sony I could really get closer in there. So even though I'm trying to go slowly to zoom in, that's pretty much as close as you're gonna get. So better color, more option on the Canons. I got the mic input, so I can put in a microphone. I got some, just the lighting is just a little bit complex to get. Here the camera's getting in the way. Maybe if I turn the camera a little bit that way, I get a little bit more light. So you guys tell me for the macro, but I don't think the macro is going to be as good as the one on the Sony, which is a shame. I wish the macro would have been as good, and the zoom speed and the focusing speed would have been as good. So the image quality I think is better, but as for micro shots, I don't think it's as good. So alright, let's keep going down the line. See, it focuses, depending on the distance, it focuses pretty fast, but it's not as fast as a Sony. Let's try to get some shots of the some emitters on some of my flashlights. So yeah, as you can see, the Sony could really get in there, so that was fun. Let's see. Well, you can get in there pretty good, but like I said, not as good as the although the color makes it that it's a little bit better. So I don't know, especially when you focus like that, I don't know if you can get as close as the Sony. I'm gonna have to look at the video once it's done and it's uploaded. So that's pretty much the best you can do. I'm gonna try to keep this video a little bit shorter than the other one. I'm just gonna focus on some stuff real quick. It's just the focus speed is not as good as the Sony, and the zoom, especially the zoom, is not as fast. Shaking a little bit so you can see image stabilization. Well, image stabilization is only good when it's not bad. But I mean, they both get some different usage to it. So just want to show you guys too my flashlight collection a little bit. That's only a couple of my my collection. As you guys can see, the one in the middle is one of the smallest, well, smallest drawer, and it's the most powerful out of the bunch. So smaller reflector, smaller size, one battery instead of 3 on the TrueNight, and just more powerful. So I'm gonna switch it up with that one. I'm just gonna clean up the lens a little bit. Just gonna use my t-shirt to clean that lens up just a tad. There we go. That's way better. So I want to try to take some of the same same flashlight, same knives that I used for a comparison, just to make sure I can get some similar footage. See, that one just doesn't want to focus all the way, so it's not going to go as deep in there. You can still see fine when you zoom in the screen, but I think the other one just had a tiny little bit more zoom on it. So, and the zooming button is just a little harder to access, in my opinion. So if I get the flashlight closer to the camera itself, I'll try zooming it in a little bit. That's pretty much the maximum I'm gonna get. So the real way you're gonna be able to tell the difference, I think, is gonna be on the knives. So I'm just gonna take my my Inron here and just show you guys the difference on the blade on the Inron. So I think this is gonna be the most easy way to tell for the macro shots. So the other one, you could just really focus on the edge too, and just getting closer. Now you've seen the cameras get some trouble focusing. Also, but a little bit about the light too. Need some better lighting. I'll try to get in closer from the other side here. Maybe that way I can focus a little bit more. Well, I'm gonna have to back up and resume in. So I'm just trying to use my other hand, so it's a little bit more complicated. I think I'll just turn the camera to get some better lighting. So maybe that way I can. No, I'm gonna have to turn the other way. Sorry guys if the video was a little bit shaky, but I'm trying to get the best angle, so to get the best light to reflect on the blade. Like I said, the focusing speed is not all that great. Come on, macro, get in there. I guess I could specifically put on macro, but here we go. So now we zoom in slowly. Nope, I just can't find the right lighting for it. So before, I think I had a little bit of outside lighting to compare it with. But as you guys can see, it's a little bit harder than the Sony to focus in on the blade itself, on the edge especially. So try to give you guys the best representation that I can. It's not bad, but Sony was just a little bit easier to get in there, so you could really get a little bit closer on that. So I'm just gonna finish up, do a couple more quick shots, because I think I'm already at 9 minutes, so it's pretty pretty in there. So just gonna get some little things there I can focus on. My Gerber dime, come on, come on. So a little bit shorter focus time for the macro shots. The other one just switch like that. So it all depends. It all depends on the on what you want for a camera. So when I try to get in closer, the only way I can get closer is just really put the object right in the lens. But then you got some other issues. So. Alright, that's pretty much as I can focus there. So let's try with my TN31. I'm gonna clean up the lens a little bit. Just get rid of all that dust so you don't get the focus on that. So let's look at the XML emitter. It has a little bit hard time focusing. So yeah, I think that's the best I can do. Get in a little bit closer. No. So that's pretty much the best for macros on this one. So one last thing I'm gonna take out is my Spyderco Resilience. Just gonna do a couple of macro shots on there. And I think the Sony is a little bit more of a wide angle too. It's got a little bit more of a wide angle lens. So that's pretty much as close as I can get for macro. Like I said, it's not bad, but it's not the Sony. It's a shame you can't mix the two. You can't mix the lens of the Sony and you know, the image quality of the Canon, and the focus speed and the zoom speed and the button. Just a couple of things I would like to mix up between those two. That would be just perfect. Let's see if I get just the focus. 11 minutes. That's gonna be a long video just to show some micro shots, but you guys can fast forward. Alright, that's pretty much all I can do for the Resilience. My legs are getting tired. So alright guys, so a little macro test. I didn't show all the flashlights. Sorry, I'm just gonna take out the Krillin one more time just to do a little macro quick on the Krillin. It's gonna be long, and it's gonna be a little bit long to upload. So right now I just switched to macro, and it's as close as I can get. So let's see for the emitter. So pretty much as close as I can get. Still in macro. Let's get back in there. Alright, that's pretty much as close as I can get there. So alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this little macro shot test of the Canon VIXIA HF R500. So far I like the camera. I'm gonna have to do some more testing on it, especially at night. The night shot seems to be a little bit laggy. I didn't compare the Sony. I didn't do some tests for the nighttime, but you know, I'm gonna keep testing this camera to see its full potential. Play with the settings and see what I can do with it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you guys have a nice one.